We had a lot of Shropshire Damson, so this is the what I've done. I've measured about 1.2 kilos of it. Then I washed it and I added around 120 grams, 100 grams, a milliliter of water. And I brought it to boil, then gently putting on the lowest gas after boiling, and then I try to, by pressing against the wall of the pot, just to make the stones separate. Then I will remove the stones and add the same amount, 1.2 kilos, 1.2 kilo of the jam, of the Shropshire Damson prune, and then I will add 1.2 kilogram of sugar also. You can use non-bleached brown sugar, cane sugar, or just use normal white one which is bleached. They just make it white by bleaching. So you can use any of them. The color, look at the colors, how beautiful it is. And this can be, at this stage you can use it for making leather. You can, I've not added sugar yet, so you can make a leather from it, foot leather, spread it in a tray and let it dry. Or you can make what they call it plum cheese or damson cheese. That's a very dense, thick kind of marmalade thingy. Or after all the sugar added and all the stones removed, you can just extract the juice of it. The juice of it will be syrup, and whatever remains, the pulp, will be the conserve or preserve. Preserve actually, yeah. And we can use it in this way. So this is what we are doing now. What a beautiful red color. I'll show you something. The damson, the skin of it is this color, bluish red probably. The flesh of it, oh, so delicious. The flesh of it is yellow, but this red color, I think, comes from the skin. Anyway, I'll show you the recipe how to make this. Can stop the video any moment just to look at the recipe. And because it's a damson and plums, they have pectin enough in them. You don't need actually adding any pectin. Pectin you kind of thicken it. Or if you want, you can buy sugar with added pectin, or you can just buy pectin add to it. Or you can use things like gooseberry or blackcurrant. Sorry, gooseberry, like apple or anything that they have pectin, naturally pectin, you can add it to this. They call the juice of the sherbet, syrup you make from the Shropshire Damson, the philosopher's syrup. It means it's such a high quality syrup if you make extract the juice. I mean, you can sieve it, or you can throw a flannel or through muslin, just remove the juice and use the juice separately and keep the pulp as for the preserve and jam. Now I've added the sugar, 1.2 kilos. Remove the stones before adding the sugar, and dissolved it, removed it from the heat, dissolve the sugar, and now put it back on the heat. I bring it to the boil, then leave it for 10 minutes. And I will also stir it at the same time just to make sure that it will not burn. And then after that I can remove the scum, pot and seal. By the way, the name of the book that is the recipe from is How to Store Your Homegrown Produce by John and Val Harrison. Okay, I've now brought it to boil, and okay, it has a good amount of syrup, so I want to separate the syrup and make a preserve separate from the what doesn't pass through the sieve. I will use a sieve for separation of syrup from the pulp, and whatever passes through the sieve, I will use it as a syrup. And you see the froth? Usually they say to you, boil it until that it gets thick. You may burn it that way actually. So I don't want to do that. I need syrup, so I want to have syrup separately. So when I come home, I can make a cordial syrup kind of thingy. Add some ice to a glass of water. Add some of the syrup to the glass of water and ice, and just stir it and enjoy. This is the best natural drink you can have, and it's made of Shropshire Damson. Okay, now with the ladle, I'm separating the syrup from the dense part of it, and what is remaining on top will be our preserve or jam, and the syrup will gather under it. That will be our syrup or cordial. So we continue like that. As you see, I'm separating them when the syrup, the jam, is yet hot. So the cordial is gathering under it, and the preserve or jam is in here. And when they cool, they get dense and a little bit more viscous. So at the moment is the best time. Okay, I'm now near the end of this. I have this amount of jam, this amount of syrup, and I have separated some of it for tasting. I tasted it. I tell you, this is the best jam I've ever eaten. Oh god. These shop bought jams, they add a lot of vinegar to it and just citric acid. But look at it. Divine. The best jam. Shropshire Damson Prune. And this is hot yet. When it gets cool, it will be amazing. I wanted to go to Shropshire and buy in the Damson season. I made it myself from allotment produce. I will lick that. Finish the plate. So beautiful. It's sweet. It has that fruity, slightly fruity acidness. Not acid, I cannot describe it. That fruity taste. That plummy taste. That damson-y taste of the Shropshire Damson. It's such a good thing. From the main pot, I've separated the syrup and the preserve or jam. It took less than 1 hour. The biggest part of it, half an hour, was just removing the stones. And I may do something with these stones. They're too nice to be left on their own. And you can make a paste actually out of it. Just put it in the plastic, gradually suck it from that little plastic. One corner of it. Just it doesn't have any sugar. It's just natural fruit. Kids like that actually. And this is lovely. This is the best jam ever. And this syrup makes me proud looking at it. And okay, I have to go and now wash. Before that, I will just leak all of this. It took less than 1 hour. All of this. With the fruit which was harvested about 10 days ago. And you can see how it looks. I have kept one punnet of the Shropshire Damson jam, Shropshire Damson Prune, just to eat it fresh. And you hear that people say, oh, measure this temperature, measure that, pectin, all this. I never bothered with that. Just get sure that it doesn't burn. My mom always used to do like this. Make sure it doesn't burn, that's it. Your syrup will be ready and your jam or preserve will be ready, and the rest of it you can just put ready too. Just make sure it doesn't burn. That's okay. Now cordial and jams are ready. I will go for a test drive of the cordial. We'll add few ice. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Ah, design. Divine, I should say. Why? That's beautiful. They call it the philosopher of the syrups. So true.